Welcome to Bands with Soul Sisters. It's Royalty Fly and
Gracious B.
It's another episode, and we're doing another.
Woo! I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, we're doing another. Yeah, so we're doing another read post random quotes, and she'll do the response.
Feedback.
Yeah. All right. So it's an African parenting, by the way. My brother was playing street football till late in the evening, and my mom said, go and ask him if he needs me to bring some lanterns so that he can see.
She was concerned for his sight.
She wanted to bring lights to him since he was still out past.
Okay, I think this is about
Past
how African parents respond sarcastically.
Yes, they are salvage, by the way. So this is, one day I made watery pap. So we have some kind of meal that is, it's like a custard. But then this was excessively watery. And guess what her dad said to her? He said, I'm still waiting for straw. It's some soda.
The man needed a straw.
He needed a straw for real. So there's this one again. Let's see. She said, the first soup I cooked in my life, my mom tasted it and said, even during the Civil War, we didn't eat tasteless food.
Oh no, that was rude.
This was shots fired.
Oh no, I can't sleep that night.
I'm telling you. And then this one says, my mom has once asked me if Lot's wife dipped her hand into my stew. That it was super salty, so it must have been Lot's wife putting the hand. I mean, but seriously, this is funny. At this point, it's funny, but I wonder, why is it African parents cannot correct
in love?
Why do they have to correct you, like condemn you, shred your self-esteem
in one word?
Like,
and they have that power. Parents don't know how much power they have in regards to building the esteem of a child, the self-worth, the value of that child. Because imagine being let down and put down by your parents so much, the people that you expect so much from, or that you want to please so much.
Yes, and it's just the crazy.
It's so degrading.
I'll tell you a story. I can never forget the story. When I was in senior second SS1, my parents used to take me to school and pick me up, but I just felt that I wanted to explore and just have a sense of independence and feel what public transportation.
And that's grade 8, by the way.
Okay, that's grade 8, yeah. So I wanted to feel what public transportation was like, and I begged them for months, and they finally agreed. So I got into public transportation, and my mom's, where she worked, was not very far from, it was a short distance. So I got in the bus, and this is like, we're Nigerians, by the way, so there's something we say, Owa. Owa is, that's my bus stop. So this is my first experience. I got on the bus, and I heard them saying, oh, like 2 bus stops, I crammed it. I didn't realize that the bus was supposed to stop. So I said, oh wow, and jumped out of a moving vehicle. And
tell me you didn't break your legs.
there's a mark on my elbow. So I now start crying from the bus stop to my mom's working place, and people saw me bleeding and everything, and everybody was running around, and they called my mom, and she came, of course, concerned. And then she saw me, she asked me like, what happened? I said, oh, it was the bus. I said, oh wow, and I didn't wait for the bus to stop, and I jumped out, and she hissed like, what snake hisses is learning. You know that continuation. I walked out angrily, and then it dawned on me that she was so ashamed that I was stupid.
Yeah.
And it crippled, it stopped her from being able to empathize.
Wow.
So the craze for perfection with the African parents.
I feel like they just expect you to fail. I don't know.
They expect you to be perfect. So when you fail, they're angry.
And even when you fail, I feel like I feel like they expect you to fail is that because they always have the words ready to condemn you.
Because I expect you to know, and this is the Bible. I tell people, the Bible says, train up your child. You should teach them how to navigate turns in life, but they don't even invest, and they expect you to just know. And when you don't know, They're irritated, disgusted, angry, and the words they say break you.
The way they say it, how they say it. They were like,
you feel like, so
you feel worthless.
Yes.
And that worthlessness extends to other areas of your life, even in your secular job.
Your self-esteem is attacked, and it takes a lot to get.
Even in your secular job, even when you do the right thing, you question yourself.
Yes.
Because you're not so much expecting a positive feedback from your boss.
Because when you heard that from the circle, the family that's supposed to be your heaven, they keep attacking you like that. What do you expect? And it's still, I was telling
you
her
feel
that
like you're never good enough.
Even for women, you don't know what to expect from a man. So when a man is bad, you don't even know, because sarcasm, they don't correct you out of love. It's strife, anger. So how do you
The
belittling. So how do you know what to expect?
So the question is, why do African parents belittle their children? Is it to build their own ego? Or is to cover up for a self-esteem defect?
I think it's a conditioning. I sat down to think about it. So because they were oppressed, they oppressed. The bully have been bullied and they bully.
Yes.
So it's a circle.
It's a circle. Very sad circle.
It's a circle. So they feel that, that's what they did to them, and that's what they do to you. And it takes us being conscious and knowing that, okay, it has to stop. It has to stop, and we have to do better.
Yeah. I remember one time I made food for my mom, and she tasted it. She just said, tossed the food, like tossed it aside and said, now what?
Very dramatic, like.
I said, if it's the way I make food for you, will you be eating? So
have you corrected? Did you connect?
No, there was no correction. All I heard was disgust, disdain, and disappointment.
So yeah,
I think African parents can do better at correcting with love, and I feel like that pattern of correction has actually driven so many children away from their parents.
Far off.
You cannot be vulnerable with your parent because you've constantly seen them being disappointed in you. So you don't want to receive that same treatment, like, oh, I know she's really disappointed in me. Let me increase the level of disappointment.
But man, so you hide in shame.
You hide your shame. Exactly.
You do life by yourself, and you're supposed to be your support system. But then when you're being like that all of your life, you rather just keep things to yourself and do things the best, navigate the best way you know how.
Yeah.
And it's not safe. It's not safe. A lot of us are actually traumatized.
It's true, because I remember sometimes when I maybe made a mistake, maybe I didn't get what I should get from the store. The first question is, don't you have sense? You not get sense? So you are always scared of making the wrong move.
Yes. Well, we were just thinking this time. We know that the cycle has to stop. So we are generational curse breakers. The trauma has to stop.
Setting the pace. It has to stop somewhere.
Yes.
And it ends with us.
It ends with us. So we're more conscious. We're kind. We know that we're humans.
Empathic.
And because it starts with you understanding that we make mistakes. The Bible says a righteous man falls
7 times.
I think they're too ashamed to fail. So it's the perfection that breeds people pleasing and all of those things that come with it. Yeah. But I
pray that we heal from the trauma that it has caused.
Yes.
I pray everyone heals, and I pray that we do better. And we want to hear your thoughts on how your African parent has created you in the past,
and how it's affected you, marred you, and how are you healing
and trying to do better going forward. I feel like when they say parents do not provoke your children to anger.
I said that all the time. Sorry to cut you short. When my mom is quick to say, I had a sharp mouth. So when she's like, oh, honor your mother and your father, and I'm like, yes. And if you read further down, it says, parents do not provoke your children. And I'm sure she's like, damn you, I paid for your school fees, that's why you can read. But I say that all the time because it's a two-way thing. As a mindful, you should be mindful. I have feelings, you have feelings.
I think parents don't think children have feelings. I feel like they believe you don't have the right to have feelings. They own your feelings. They should feel for you.
You hear that? I carried you 9 months, you sucked my breast, so what? Stop breathing.
Yeah. So you should take the insult and don't feel anything.
She's your mother.
She's your mother. Bible says that words can kill. You can kill someone with your words. So they belittle you, tear you down with their words, and expect that it's your mother, so you are not supposed to feel anything. You should be dead to anything.
And as a believer, I think it's when I became a believer that I started to understand that if you read, like, what stuck with me was that conversation with Abraham and God, and the way he was patient, loving, kind. That thing place, I think he did a rewiring. So every time I want to, as a parent, I want to get ahead of myself. I'm like, the Heavenly Father is this way. And I'm making this image, and I have the capacity to also understand God and Abraham, how he was patient when he was negotiating in Sodom and Gomorrah from 40, 30, the patience, the loving kindness, the way he was. I don't know if my imagination runs anyway, so I just was playing in my mind like, okay, listening. Yes. When Elijah was, down and out, go rest. He understands, he feels us,
I
and
think
that's
it's temperance and empathy.
yes.
And I think it's what selfless love, the God kind of love that flows without expectation. What I mean by expectation, it flows without you feeling like you have to earn it. I feel like parents
think you have to earn. And I always tell my kids all the time, like, I love you regardless. So even if you're not doing the things that what's making me happy, doesn't mean that I don't love you. And even if I'm angry at you, I let you know that, but I'm still I still want to be that first person you're going to. It just
dropped in my heart that they treated us with a love that you feel like you had to earn.
You have to work for it.
You have to work for it. So every time you made a mistake, you were a disappointment to that love. You didn't deserve that love. And it kind of framed in the self-worth of the people we become as adults.
Yes.
That you feel like you're not deserving of love. You have to earn people's love from your friend.
You have to work twice.
You have to work twice as hard,
yes.
and it leads to trust issues too. You can't trust people. You feel like, why do you love me? I've not done enough to earn it.
Exactly.
I'm not good enough for that love.
It's very traumatic, but we're all a work in process, and we're trying to, unburden and leave that trauma and get healed.
So the question we leave with today is, why do African parents correct with so much
disdain and anger
and disappointment, and why can't they love with a love that is selfless, that you didn't work for, an undeserving kind of love, an undeserving kind of love, a selfless kind of love that feels like I love you regardless? And that's the kind of love God has for us.
Yeah.
And God expects.
Imagine the prodigal son.
To give.
He could go back because he knew that in as much as his father will always welcome him, and that's